Hey, good morning, everyone. I think that'll stay. Good morning. It's Rick in Seattle. It's early in the morning. I guess I got some coffee here. I thought I'd do a early landscape today because I've got to go meet someone for breakfast here in a little bit, but I think I can get this one done fairly quick. It's a 10 by 20. So what I'm going to do basically is some mountains in the back with water and some trees like on the side. A really simple one, which is good for beginners. I think this would be a good one for beginners. But my canvas is really tight because I've gessoed the back with black. It makes the canvas really tight and prepares it for painting. So that's why I gesso the back with black. It also prevents light from shining through. Which is a good thing, really. Let me design some mountains up here. So I'm going to have just something that you're looking straight at. So I'm going to have some, like a main peak right in the middle here. Oh, if you mix burnt sienna and yellow, you'll get yellow ochre. I put that up there. If you don't have yellow ochre and you happen to have burnt sienna and yellow, mix those two and then you'll get your yellow ochre. Okay, and I'm using yellow ochre in this painting. So basically I'm just going to have we'll just have some mountain peaks going all the way across, trying to keep the one in the middle just a little taller in the middle. I'm just going to put a rough sketch in here. Nothing too fancy, just so you can see. You also know where the sky is when you do this. A rough sketch. So maybe the land I'll have like right about here. I'm going to have trees in here, but I want the land to kind of maybe curve back a little. Let's curve it in just a little like that. Okay, that'll work. And then I'll have, of course, I'm going to have a foreground here with trees on either side here. So that's it. That's the sketch. This is going to be water in here. When I do my water, I'm going to run like a water right down the middle here. Will be small back here, and then it'll get larger as it moves forward. So it looks like it's coming from the back towards the front. All right, there's the sketch. Let's get painting. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. I just hit 1,800 subscribers. That's awesome. It just happened, I think, late last night, early this morning. So I'm happy about that. In the description, I put I happen to work at Michael's, so this is the paint that they sell there. Artist Loft. It's designed for Michael's stores, level 2. So that's what I'm using. All the paint I'm using is Artist Loft. Okay, so you could get this stuff at Michael's. It comes in smaller tubes as well. So if you're thinking about trying to do some painting, you can get all this stuff at Michael's. I even got this This is the palette paper. I got it at my everything. This easel's from Michael's from probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. Still holding up. I think I want to get a new one though. So here's the colors I'm using. This is Prussian blue with white. I made that yellow ochre there. See, I mixed burnt sienna and yellow and got the yellow ochre. There's yellow ochre there, but I made my own. So isn't that cool? It's just a good tip if you're ever out of yellow ochre. You can make it yourself. All right, this is gonna be an easy one. I'm just gonna make my sky blue. This is Prussian blue. It's not that big of a painting. It is this way, so try to use. I'm using less water. I'm using more paint than. My brush is a little wet with water, but not much, because I want the paint to look heavy on the canvas. The only time I use a lot of water is if I'm doing like even a larger painting. I'll have water to help me get the paint to move. But this is a small painting, so less water. I got 2 members so far, Peggy Sterling and Peter Ratfault. Peter's from Sweden. Trying to build up some more members to. It really helps out with the channel, so I can keep buying more paint and stuff. I'm hoping to get another camera, so I can have different views of me painting, and I can go from one camera to the other. I think that'll be cool. And I'm trying to get to where I can have music in the background. I'm still working on that. There's somebody out there that's supposed to send me an email once they find out how to do it. So that's I got my sky in there. I'm gonna throw some extra white up there right now, just to try and get some distant clouds in here. Just a little white. I'll put clouds up there, but these will look. This white will look like distant clouds. Just gonna lightly blend them in. Whoops. Gonna have a gray cloud there. This is going to be an easy one. So what I'm going to do is put all my color in right now. I know this is going to be water, so I'm going to just put the water in right now. This will be probably one of the quickest lives I've done so far, which is good because, like I said, I got to go have breakfast with a friend here in a little bit. But I'm off today. I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 more lives today. Maybe I'll do a live fest. If I got enough canvas around here, I can just do lives all day. Try and talk you guys into becoming members, because that'd be awesome. I'm trying to build up some members, so maybe one day I can just do this full time, you know. All right, there's my water. Trying to lighten up the back. Put some dark Prussian blue up here in the front. Dark blue up front. I like that Prussian blue. It's perfect if you're doing like a winter scene, that Prussian blue. All right, let me get the mountains in. I think this painting's going to start coming together here in a second. This is a mixture. I mixed my gray. I almost made my own Payne's gray. It's black and white with some Prussian blue in it. And it almost has a Payne's gray look to it. Look at those mountain peaks back there. That's awesome. This is a great painting for someone who's just starting out with landscapes. And I think it'll turn out good for you. We're going to put some trees in the back there, like foothills. This almost looks like Seattle here. We have Seattle would be where I'm standing, and across the Puget Sound, which this would be the Puget Sound, you would see trees way back there. You'd also see maybe a few houses up on the hills back there. And you'd have to take a ferry across to get to those islands over there. That's kind of like what it looks like. Yeah, so this could be a scene from Seattle for sure. In fact, that's what I'm going to call it. We'll call it the Puget Sound. That's what I like about improvising. This isn't really, I mean, anybody could have improvised this. Mountain across here, water, some bushes and trees. It's not the hardest one to improvise. All right, I'm going to put some snow up there now. I just put a little bit of white. There's a little blue and gray in there, so it's not bright white, but I like to start out with just a little snow up there first. Just put a little bit. And then kind of hit each peak with a little bit of snow. Just a little bit, and then I'll design each peak after I look at this to see. Now, the less snow you put up here, the further these will look back. So now what I'm doing is trying to design this mountain. Pulling the white down a little more. I like using the knife because the paint ends up just sitting on top of the paint. It doesn't blend in. So that's why I'm using the knife for this part. it gives the paint a different feel. Okay, it's hard to explain if you've never painted before. You'll know once you do it a few times. Because if I use a brush up there, it would end up looking like this down here. I like the knife look. See how it leaves like little, it leaves the paint sparkling a little better. Let's put some color on the shade side. It's going to be a bluish white. I'm going to mix a little blue and white. It's the blue I used in the water and for the sky. Now, the reason I used that dark Payne's Gray for the underpaint on the mountain is because I'm going to leave some of the dark on the mountain. But I'm also going to use blue here. It's a bluish gray for the shadow side of these mountains. So you just got to basically hit just left of your snow. Wherever you have snow, just put a little bit of this blue. Using the knife. Even come down here where the white is coming down on the bottom here. Just put a little blue down here. It'll create like a cliff. See that? It turns that mountain coming down this way. Let's see if I'm zoomed in enough. Yeah. This, when you do your mountains, you should take a little time on your mountains, and they do take some time. And be careful where you put the shade color. This is the shade color now, so see where I have the white here on this one? Just put your shade color just next to the white, and don't go over this white. You're going to come down here below it and put a little bit of this shade color, just like that. It's going to make the mountain look like it has dimension, plus it's going to give there's going to be a lot of different colors in the mountain now. See that? This one I'll create another cliff here. Look at that. Wow, I really like those mountains. They look far away, so look at that. I'm going to do a little bit of this bluish gray underneath this one too. Mountains, they take a little practice, but if you do it just like the way I did it, you should be okay. I like to soften up the bottom part now. Just clean a brush. I'm just gonna get a brush and clean it in the water and kind of dry it off just a little bit, and then lightly blend this lower part of the mountain. just very lightly. Just blend the bottom. It's going to make it look like mist. It's going to also soften the mountain, make it look further back. Don't go up too high, just down at the bottom. It's going to make the mountain appear further back. And this is just a little wet brush, not too wet, just damp. There we go. There's the mountains, man. I can't believe how good those look. Let's see who's on today. Sadrain. Sadrain. Sadrain, how you doing? Good morning. So, what did I do? I must have touched my water down here. So let's put in, I'm going to put in some bushes now. Basically, I'm just going to have trees now on either side. I guess I should put some clouds in here first. Let's make the clouds look like they're going off to the back here. Using Artist Loft Level 2 Titanium White. Okay, so I want to have these clouds look like they're going off into the distance here. So what I'm going to do is put a small one here. And then get bigger as I go back over here. Whoops. A little black in there. Some quick clouds. This is my quick cloud technique. It looks like they're going off into the distance here. I make these arch. You can actually draw a line from here up and then make the clouds bigger. Small here and then bigger as it goes out, okay? And you could pull the bottom, just the bottom of the cloud out. I really turned this one into a, I was just gonna paint for you this morning, but I always want to teach for some reason. That's good enough. I just put those up there very quickly so you could see that how to do some clouds. Let me put some trees back here now. Just want small trees back there. Just like that. Just this so it looks like foothills back there. I'm not going to do a reflection. If you want to do a reflection, you can do one, but I'm just going to put a water line back here at the bottom. Just like that. I want to bring the water line coming forward now, getting bigger as it comes to the front. Just like that. It's coming out pretty good. Let's put some bushes down here now in the front. Put some bushes. I'm going to have some trees over on either side now. It's coming out pretty good. I don't know if anybody's chatting today. Hello. So I'm thinking about doing trees on both sides, maybe coming kind of in at an angle. If you're new to the channel, I always put my bushes in dark. This is a mixture of black and burnt sienna, and then I'll highlight it. I'll highlight it once I'm done. So let's put a starter tree here. I want it to be pretty tall. like that. This is a good painting for like a beginner. Uh, you could put as many trees in here as you want. I'm just going to do a few because I got to go to breakfast here in a little bit. But this almost looks like Seattle right here, the Puget Sound. If you've ever been to Seattle, we're surrounded by water, so that almost looks just like the Puget Sound. Except you would see some houses out here, down here, all on these hills, some houses and stuff. Pretty cool. This would be more gray, the water. Lighten up the back a little more. There we go. It's coming out pretty good. You could put, I think I'll put a few trees here that look like they're going down a little bit. So like maybe just the tops of trees here. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. Like it's going down a hill. I think that'll work. Cool. And I'm going to highlight these trees real quick for you. Then highlight these bushes. I think I want to use a light green. I don't know. Let me test it real quick. Yeah, I guess that's all right. You could use different color greens here for these trees. I'm just going to use the same one for now. Kind of rushing, but you just have to highlight one side. I'm going to do these bushes now with the yellow ochre. Do some of these bushes. Rinse my brush. Use a little yellow. There you go. That's about the scene right there. That looks pretty good. I see Nico. How you doing? Nico. Now you can put more trees in here if you want to fill in the sides, and you can put more trees in here, but I'm going to leave it like that. Now for down here, I would put some twigs, like get a liner brush and put some twigs in here. You can use black or white twigs. Try some white ones here, see what that looks like. I kind of like it for a morning. This is an early morning painting. I just got up, so I thought I'd do something simple because this is just 10 by 20. And I think anybody can do this design. It's fairly simple. Uh, I'm using some Artist Loft paint. It's kind of really cheap to buy at Michael's. The Artist Loft. Everything I got here, I got at Michael's craft store. But you can use any type of acrylic paint. I was just kind of testing out. I was testing out that paint, you know, the Artist Loft acrylic. Some people like it, some people don't. Trying to think what else I can put in here. I'll tell you what, we do have a lot of eagles here in Seattle. Put some eagles here. Usually the eagles, their wings are like spread straight out when they're flying. And these are seagulls over here. We got a lot of birds. A lot of birds in Seattle. This came out pretty good. I'm gonna lighten up those back there a little bit. They're a little too dark for me, so maybe I'll try a little yellow ochre on top of them, see what that does. Yeah, I think I like that better. I didn't want them to be so dark, like as dark as these trees here, so. That looks good. I think I'm gonna green up my trees a bit. I want my trees to look maybe a little greener. See what they look like. Make them pop a little more. Yeah, just to give it a little more color. Kind of rushing. I would usually just barely touch these with your brush, but I'm kind of going fast. But there we go. Yeah, I like that green. I want it to look a little more colorful. You know what I mean? There we go. And you can add some more light to that, uh, like a little yellow on top, just a little, just to make it look like the light's hitting on there. A little bit of yellow highlights. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-da-da-da. This is pretty good. I like it. Well, I had a few people show up. I appreciate it. I know it's early in the morning. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. I've got a lot of cool ideas I'm going to do this summer. So, and I'm always coming up with something new. So, let's see. Wow. What do you think? That came out pretty good, I think, for early morning landscape. I kind of like it. I can't tell who's on because nobody's chatting, but thanks for showing up. Look at that. That looks just like Seattle here, the Puget Sound. Wow. I really like that one. Alright guys, thanks for showing up. Make sure you subscribe so you can keep in touch when next time I do a live. I'll probably do a couple more live streams today where I improvise different paintings. But look at that one. That's a 10 by 20 canvas. It's a different style, and I think it's pretty cool. It came out good. All right, guys. Cheers.